Welcome to lesson 5 in the Daily Chaos Filter. This has been a really good series so far. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've gained a ton of value, taken a lot of notes, and journaled up a ton, and figured out how to start installing your chaos filter. Couple more things we're going to be talking about in this series. Today, I'm going to be giving you a specific case study on me, and I've talked a little bit about it through the process, but I want to talk about the whole thing, how I specifically used the chaos filter during my depression, how I created the chaos filter in the first place to climb out of my depression, and then how I specifically used it to do it. So that's what I want to get into today. And then tomorrow is going to be a really great episode because it's really going to be the bewares, the cautions, what not to do's. I'm also going to maybe tomorrow might be a little bit of the story, a second story that I don't know if I have time to get into in this episode, but I got hit by an actual con man. I got hit by an actual con man and a team of people that were conning a situation at the end of my depression. When I had started climbing out, I got tested by a con man who brought the chaos into my sphere, where I didn't have chaos. But the cool part about that situation was it allowed me to learn how to use this process better. Like I said, we place meaning on every situation. And placing meaning on a con man situation, what are you going to place on that? Well, I let it happen. It was my fault too, but then I recognized it. As soon as I recognized it, I got rid of it. But then I had to use this system in order to get me out of the chaos, because con people put you into chaos. They'll get you into a tailspin. They want you to stay in chaos so you don't make the proper decisions, so you can't see the whole picture. They see the whole picture, but they want to keep you in a state of chaos. People salting your mind, maybe. They want to keep you in a state of chaos so you can't make the proper decisions, so you make whatever decisions they give you to make. And that is what this person did to me, and came into my sphere, caused a whole bunch of chaos, made everything just feel like such an urgent decision, but it was never my path. It was actually me. Now, he came in and he sold me delusions of grandeur, and I picked up on it, but then after a short period of time, thankfully, I recognized it in a short period of time because I had some trusted advisors around me who mentioned this is not supposed to be happening this way. You need to recalibrate, rethink about what you're doing. I don't know if this guy's really good for you and your direction, what you're moving towards. So trusted advisors are key in the process. They're so important. I'm thankful that I have some trusted advisors, and I hope you can get some too. So today I want to go through a little bit of this, my year of chaos and how I got through it. My year of chaos was 2017, actually going into 2018. 2017, 2018, hardest years of my life. And they're the hardest years of my life because I never processed anything for 39 years. And then all of a sudden, it was like, boom, burnout. And the burnout needed to be eliminated. And I needed to figure out a way to eliminate that burnout. And not just eliminate it for a moment. I want to eliminate it forever. I want to delete it from my existence. I don't want to get burnt out anymore because burnout sucks. But hey, it took me a solid 30 years of running hard and fast before I got burnt out. So I have a lot of capacity. I have a lot of capability inside of me. However, it's easy to get burnt out when you're not making your own decisions focused, when you're not consciously and intentionally directing your own path toward your success. Because if you let everybody else set your goals, especially if you let someone salt your mind and come on in as a con person, you can get burnt out pretty easily. And they will take you down. They can take you down. So don't let that happen. And this is the way to spot all that, because the chaos filter allows you to rise above the myopic piece that you're staring at, that con person wants you to stare at. The chaos filter allows you to rise above that myopic piece to see the whole picture again. Because when you look at the whole picture, you can realize all your decisions were poor during the time that you were in the chaos. The decisions that you made were, sometimes they did pretty good, but for the most part, you were making decisions that weren't all the way accurate because you didn't have the whole picture. You weren't looking at the entire picture. You were looking at one little piece of the picture, and that little piece of the picture was possibly directed to, your attention was directed to that little piece by someone else who is moving attention around. I want you to be in control of your own attention. I want you to be in control of your own destiny. I want you to be in control of filtering all the chaos and turning it in to clarity, because that's what I can do now. I can do it on a moment's notice. And I want you to be able to do that on a moment's notice too. I don't want something to drop you for 10 years or 2 years or 1 year or a week. I want you to be able to walk through that chaos. If you need some rest, take some rest. But I want you to be able to walk through that chaos and continually progress and move forward with momentum through the daily chaos. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm doing this for you. I'm pushing myself out there. I'm giving you my soul. I love you so much. I hope you're gaining value from what I'm saying here, because it really helped me. So let me get started. This side of the board is my path, okay? I'm going to get to this here at the end. But I want to start talking about this side of the board, because in 2017, I needed the daily chaos filter. And I didn't have it. I needed it, but I didn't have it. I didn't even know that I needed it. I wasn't aware that there was even such a thing. So in 2017, I needed the daily chaos filter, but I did not have it. Instead, I let chaos morph into burnout, then to depression, which was propelled by blame. So 2017 was a hardcore year because I let the chaos morph into burnout, then depression, and that was all propelled by blame. I know I'm not supposed to blame. I know I'm the common denominator to all my life's experiences. I know that I can choose to feel differently about situations now. I didn't necessarily know that before. I felt like this person was doing this thing against me. When I started blaming other people for how I felt, that was the cycle that started taking me down. And that propelled my depression. That kept me in the depression. And in fact, it kept me going deeper into the depression. So blame, we got to jump out of that. We definitely have to jump out of blame, because blame was propelling my depression, which happened because I got burnt out because of the chaos. Do you see how that all plays? Do you see how that all plays together? It still worked that way for me, but look, I had to get out somehow. I needed to get out. I needed to get out of this depression because it was the worst place I had ever been in. That was the hardest 2 years of my entire life. I had to force myself to process. I had to force my cocoon. But in my cocoon is where I came up with the daily chaos filter, because I started reading every single day. I started listening to YouTube videos that were educational every single day, picking my mentors, picking my trusted advisors, and actually having a few trusted advisors that are actual people that you can call up on the phone and talk to. So you got your mentors on YouTube, you got your mentors that you don't know them personally because you're just reading their books and things, but then you also need the trusted advisors. And I really am thankful that I had a couple trusted advisors at the time during this. Sometimes when you ask a trusted advisor the answer to a question, they can completely and quickly reveal to you the flaw in your thinking. Now, here's the other thing. You got to stay humble when you ask these questions, because they will reveal your flaws and you will not want to hear them. So make sure you're open to hearing your blind spots and weaknesses. And a couple times when a few of my trusted advisors shared with me some of my blind spots and hidden weaknesses and fears, I almost jumped on them. I kind of like, no, that's not it. No, whatever. I almost kind of snapped at them a little bit. And they, at the time, maybe they didn't know that was not good for me to do that. I was in a state of chaos and confusion, and I wasn't acting. I was reacting all the time. I wasn't acting properly. I didn't make the right decisions all the time. So I was so focused on a myopic depression of blame. So my trusted advisors really helped me see what I needed to see at the time, even though I didn't want to hear it. And I didn't know I didn't want to hear it. And I didn't know what they were saying was true until I sat down and thought about it. So don't shut down your trusted advisors immediately. When you ask them a question and they give you the truth, don't shut them down. Shut up and listen. So I had to learn to shut up and listen instead of shutting them down, because when they explain to me my hidden weaknesses and fears because I asked them to, it's hard to hear sometimes. Can you relate to that? It's like when I used to write a script and ask someone, hey, I want your criticism. When you ask for criticism, you get criticism. I don't want criticism. I want suggestions for improvement. That's what I want. No criticism. I don't want anybody to criticize me. I don't want to criticize you. I don't want to criticize anybody. Criticism is not what I want. I want to be able to appreciate where I'm at, appreciate where you're at, and then set some goals for the future and understand that we're all just people trying to hang in there. We're all just getting through this amazing experience we call life. It's just, how are we getting through it? Are we getting through it with depression, anger, blame, chaos? Or are we getting through it with happiness, fulfillment, success, excitement, adventure, future, legacy? That's what I want. I want that side. I don't want that side. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense to you. Let's move on, because I want you to understand that I still feel and experience the chaos. But now I intentionally move through it and extract lessons, then delete the rest. And move on up, baby. Moving on up. So I still feel and experience the chaos, but now I intentionally move through it and extract the lessons, then delete the rest and move on up. I know it's a long sentence, but that's what I do now. I understand that chaos in life is part of it. I'm not going to delete the chaos of life. I'm just going to delete my chaos. And I'm going to extract the beneficial learning growth moments, even what I don't want to be, what I do want to do, what I don't want to do, all that stuff. I now, through that con man experience, I can say specifically, I'm much more aware of other people and my surroundings, especially when I'm launching a product that is going to have a massive impact on people. People will start coming around you, and that's not bad. That's what I want. I want people to come around me, but we need discernment, and we cannot be caught on shiny things. We must create our own shiny things. We got to dig the gold out of our mind, polish it up and shine it and share it, but don't let other people come in and show you their shiny things and convince you that you are supposed to help them shine up all their stuff. Now, I say this knowing that we got to help other people out. That's the whole point of doing all this stuff. I want to help you shine your gold, but I don't want to do it for someone that's manipulating me and trying to take me down. And that happens. Unfortunately, there's people out there that try to get ahead. They don't have any respect for the success of other people. And they find their success in taking other people down. And I don't fully grasp that or comprehend why these people do that, but I have a suspicion that it's because of their paradigm. They were installed with their paradigm when they were young. We're locked in. Maybe their parents were thieves or con people. We all had terrible experiences in our childhood that programmed us in some way or another as an adult. Some people had it very, very bad. This is where I can find compassion, even for the worst situations. I don't like them. I definitely think that that's a terrible, terrible thing to do, but I hope you can kind of get my gist. We judge people, but we forget to look at why they're like that. What created them to be that way? And if anybody can change, then anybody can change. And that is the hope of the future. That's the hope I'm clinging to, baby, because hey, if anybody out there wants to change, they can. Even if you're a pimp and you want to change, you can. You can become an incredible, amazing person that runs forward to your dreams, finds your gold, polishes it, and shares it with the world. You don't have to your goal is not a stable of girls. I mean, that's terrible. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. I did a whole script on this before and I researched this pretty heavily, but I want you to understand it was very difficult for me to find compassion for any of these pimps out there because I don't like what's going on. It's terrible. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's incredibly evil. But evil is perpetuated because it's a cycle. Everybody in that world lives in a state of chaos. Chaos rules that world. If we don't want chaos to rule our world, we need to filter it out. And that is the process that I'm teaching you today. I hope you're gaining some value, some information out of this course. If you are going through chaos alone right now, you must find someone you can trust and complain to them. Okay? Complain. Now, I put complain there. It's a super harsh word. The reason is because you got to tell them what's going on. And when you tell them what's going on, you just make sure you find a trusted person, your mom, your dad, or a friend, or someone who will listen to you and not take offense that you're complaining. I don't complain often, but when I got to get it out, I got to call someone I love and trust. I have to tell some other person what I'm feeling. Sometimes I can just get through it, but sometimes I need my trusted advisor so I can call them, tell them what's going on. But when I tell them what's going on, I'm basically complaining. But I'm only complaining to get it out. I have to get it out so I can figure it out, which is actually this part. Get it out, then figure it out. And if you have trusted advisors and you're complaining to them, don't complain too often. I mean, nobody's going to be your friend if you're complaining all the time. But when you're going through chaos, I'm not saying to complain just to complain. I'm saying call your trusted advisor, meet up with them, talk to your trusted advisor, hang out with them, and let them know what's going on. Tell them what's really going on. And tell them, just get it out. And then they will be able to share with you what they see. How they see the whole picture. They'll be able to, because if we're looking at something so myopic, our trusted advisor, once we complain it out to them, they're going to be able to step back and they're going to be able to see our whole map. They're going to be able to see our whole picture and they're going to be able to see where we're going wrong and how to fix it. That's why trusted advisors are so important, and I hope you get 1 or 2 or 10. Probably don't need 10, but definitely 2 to 3 trusted advisors. It's like your board of directors. You are the company. So your board of directors around you in your personal life that can help you move forward, who you trust and they trust you. And they know when you complain, you don't really mean it. How do you gain a trusted advisor? Become a trusted advisor to someone else. The golden rule works all the time. So if you become a trusted advisor to someone else, understand that you might be getting some complaining once in a while. They might have to complain to you once in a while. Take it and then objectively love them with encouraging advice back. And that has helped me out a lot because my mom's been a really great source of encouragement for me. And I found myself complaining to her momentarily to get it out. And she totally is okay with me doing that once in a while. I don't do it all the time because that would just get too much. But when I'm going through stuff, I got to get it out somehow. And just so you know, I don't like to complain. I don't really like that word. But when you're getting the chaos out, sometimes it sounds like complaining because kind of technically it is. So it's okay. It's okay. Just understand you're incredible. You're amazing. You got to get it out. And then you can figure it out. Once you get it out, you can figure it out. And your trusted advisor can help you. Let me talk about 2017 here. 2017, it was hardcore. So when I was young, I got into real estate. I'm sure you know that journey. I was 25. And then I decided to be an actor. So I sold everything I owned and I started making movies. And then I went through 12 years of this process of being a broke filmmaker because I basically spent all my money to make movies and then became a broke filmmaker and then learned how to become a freelance filmmaker for the rest of the 12 years. And I would make commercials and industrial videos and corporate videos. I'd even shoot wedding videos. I did a whole bunch of stuff during that 12-year span to learn how to be a freelance filmmaker. and just to keep paying the bills during that time and to learn how to make movies. So what happened through that 12 years is I never really took a break. I just kept running, but I was running in a cycle. I was running on a hamster wheel. I was taking a job that made like $2 grand, $3 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, whatever. One job would last me a month or two, and I would just use that money till it ran out. And then I would have to go get another job that gives me another 2 grand, 3 grand, 5 grand, or 10 grand. That would take me another month or 2 or 3 months to run out of that money. And so it was just a constant cycle every time I got another job. And then when I started producing for some Hollywood studios, I started trying to prove myself, which that's okay. I mean, I guess I just was trying to prove myself to these other people when in fact I was really trying to prove myself to myself. I wanted to know that I could do it. So I went in, I said, I can produce the heck out of your 8-episode television show. I will come in under budget, under date. I will kill it. I will deliver it at such a high quality. And I way over delivered my skills, and I delivered. I way over delivered. I over promised my skills and I way over delivered. But you know, I didn't necessarily know how to do an entire television show yet. I just knew that I could figure it out. If we don't have the resources, we have to have resourcefulness. We have to be more resourceful if we don't have the resources. And that's what I've been learning how to do for the last 12 years. So I'm extremely resourceful now, and the resources are coming back because now I'm stepping out of this chaos. But in 2017, I was broke and I got a job. So I was in this cycle of taking a job whenever I needed the money. So I would take some money, I would run out of the money, and then I would get another job or go try to get another job and get some more money, run out of that money, go get another job. And I would over deliver on all these jobs. So I was really just hoping that one of these jobs would be like, wow, you're awesome. Here's another job with more money. No, that's not what happened. In fact, after I over delivered for these huge companies, the next job they came to me with, they were like, we have less money than we had last time. We got more money for the movie, less money for you. Make it work, right? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm supposed to be getting raises. That's what a good boss does. A good boss, if you over deliver, will give you a raise. No, that's not what was happening to me because I was in a cycle. I was not making clear decisions. I had not processed anything yet. And I allowed that situation where I said yes. This was my fear of regret. I feared regretting not going, if that makes sense. I feared the idea that if I didn't go, I would miss out on something. So I said yes to a budget that was too low. And I knew it was too low, but whatever, it was what it was. I said yes. I went to South Africa for 2 months. And I had just planted my food forest here at Stonehaven, and it was springtime. 2 months in spring. Spring's the best part of the year for a garden. All my new trees were blooming and getting fruit on them and all that other stuff. And I'm like missing all of it, being somewhere where I don't feel that they're paying me enough, but I still said yes. So I'm out there unhappy, trying to put a smile on my face and be happy the whole time. I love the people out there. During that time, while I was gone, it was 2 months in South Africa. When I was gone, we won the Phoenix Film Festival for I'm Perfect for this movie here, and I wasn't able to be there because I was in South Africa. I was allowing all of this stuff. I was attaching meanings to everything that were not good. All those meanings to everything that were like other people's issues, that other people were doing things to me. And I'm like, whatever. I was attaching the wrong meanings to all of these experiences. And it was about ready to take me down. And it did. I allowed it to take me down because I was broke. Then I got depressed. So I got back from South Africa. I had no money. I went over budget on the project out in South Africa. I delivered at an extremely high level because I knew what they were going to want me to do. So I way over delivered, but I knew if I was going to over deliver like that, I was going to have to put a little bit more money into it. The budget was going to just super be maxed out and I was barely going to be there. So I did it, and I still just put 100% in because I can't not. I have to go all in when I'm on a job, and I have to over deliver for myself and for everybody else. So I did. I over-delivered, but I came back, no money, broke, exhausted, sick from a 30-something hour flight back home, and I stayed sick. I got sick on the flight back, and I stayed sick for pretty much a year and a half almost. And it was the initial part was a flu or some kind of sickness because it was a long travel situation. But the sickness kept getting deeper because of the depression. It kept getting worse. And I never even felt, once I got back, I never felt like getting up off the couch. A couple things that helped me during that time was moringa, my food forest, planting seeds of the tree of life helped me. Because at certain days, I'm like, I just have to get up off the couch and plant 10 seeds today. I just got to do something. I'm going to go plant 10 seeds and I'll feel like I did something today. And so I would do that and I would go plant some things, and now those trees are getting big. So those actually help. Those are really cool that I did some of that stuff at the time. Plus, the one escape I had during this time was my YouTube channel. That was the one escape. This house and the YouTube channel. My food forest and the YouTube channel. So I was documenting the food forest. I was documenting the YouTube channel. I was wearing a mask on the rest of my life. But everybody on my YouTube channel saw. You can even go back and watch my videos during my depression. I was excited. I was so happy. I am so happy. When I see trees and fruit trees and see things growing outside around me, it makes me so happy. And during the depression, that was the one escape I had. Now, the problem with that was, so here we go. I'm getting there. Broke, depressed. I was hiding behind a mask. For most of everything, I was showing people what they wanted to see. But most of the time, I didn't even want to be around anybody. I wanted to retreat and stay retreated. And if I ever went out and saw anybody else or anybody came over, I'd put a big smile on my face and I would act happy, but I wasn't happy. And they could probably see right through me because true enthusiasm, you can tell. You can tell when someone's faking it. And I think people might have realized at the time that I was faking it. The thing I wasn't faking though was my YouTube channel because it was real. It's my real excitement for the trees. But I was going through a mental breakdown, and the thing was I kept feeling in this time of my life like we are almost expected to be productive through mental breakdowns in today's world. I don't know if you feel that or not, but do you feel that you're forced to be productive through mental breakdowns? I think a lot of people might be feeling that way right now because we are based so much on production. Produce this, produce that, make things happen. What have you done? What have you done? You didn't do anything? Oh my gosh. And if I don't do anything, I do sometimes feel a little bit depressed. So I got to keep projects on my path. I got to, what are that, idle hands or the devil's playground? So I got to give myself stuff to do. And I don't want to give myself stuff to do that's directed by somebody else. I really don't want to get a job. I don't like getting other people's jobs. I want to self-direct my path, and that's what I've been doing for the last 12 years, although I got burnt out because I let the chaos happen and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't have a daily chaos filter yet. I didn't have anything to filter this chaos out and to delete it and reinstall it with awesome filters. I didn't have that yet, but I needed a change, and so I started my food forest and my YouTube channel, and like I said, I was not putting on a mask on my YouTube channel. That's where everything was singing. That's where I was excited. That was where my excitement happened. And then I put a commitment. I'm like, you know what? If I feel so good while I'm doing these YouTubes, I might as well do them every single day. So I did for a while. I was like doing them all the time. I did 40 days in a row. Then I got so burnt out because I was still in my chaos that I left YouTube. I ghosted my channel for like 4 months during my depression. Then when I came back, I did another 40-day run because I got a little bit of boost. I needed some more energy. So I did my channel. And then I ghosted my channel again for like 3 months. Because of this cycle, I was in a cycle that I couldn't escape. And I'm out now, but at that time, I was making tons of YouTube videos. I think I have 270 up now, but during that time I was doing 3 a week. I probably had 150 videos on YouTube, and I had an audience. My audience was growing, and it's still growing. It's doing awesome. My awesome army, my tribe, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me through my time, even though you didn't necessarily know it. But I appreciate your support. You guys were the ones that were keeping me going. You and Moringa. But I still wasn't making any money. I came back broke. I was still broke. I was happy in my garden, but I was broke. I was so broke. And that was not good. That was not a place I wanted to be. I couldn't help anybody else. I couldn't even help myself. So I had to figure out how to get out. I was making the wrong decisions in the chaos. And why do we make the wrong decisions? Because we can't see the whole picture. When we're in the chaos, we're making the wrong decisions. Now, any decision is better than indecision. Any decision is better than no decision. Hesitation and procrastination are the two big killers of progress. But when you're in chaos, sometimes you're still making not quite the right decisions. So if you step out of the chaos, now you can see the whole picture and you can make better decisions. Because when you're in the chaos, you can't see the whole picture. Because chaos tunes you into the myopic problem. So now you're taking this little problem and you're blowing it up into the size of a mountain. And that's why the treasure map week in the Find Your Gold 6-week masterclass, the treasure map process shows you how to take a mountain and move it. But the funny thing is, you might have created a mountain on your map that is a little teeny piece of sand that you could just step right over, but it looks like a mountain to you. Because you're focusing so hard on that little piece of sand, it's kind of like you have a magnifying glass and you take that microscope or whatever and you're looking at your little piece of sand and that sand looks huge. It looks like a mountain. But it's not, it's a piece of sand. You can step right over it. You can step on top of that sand. But you've taken that little grain of sand and you've made a whole mountain. And that is why you can move mountains, because that mountain isn't in the base reality. That mountain is only on your map of reality. It's your perception. Your perception created that mountain and placed it there in your path. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. So the chaos will tune you into the myopic problem, and the daily chaos filter help me step back and tune into the whole picture so I can make correct decisions. Because with the filter, now I can step back, mute the world, and start thinking. Think. One way to delete the chaos in your life, one really good way to use the filter is when you're driving. Turn the radio off. Drive in silence. Drive and think. Drive and think. Drive and process. Drive and think. Drive. Only drive and think. Don't listen to music. I'm just saying it's an option. It's a thought. When I drive, I do one of two things. I'll either listen to an audiobook that will enhance my life, or I'll listen to nothing. I don't like listening to music when I'm driving, because when I'm driving, that's my thinking time. I got to focus on the road anyway, so you might as well think. Drive and think. And that helps me process things, because if you have a long drive, sometimes it's nice to get a whole hour of thinking in, or an hour of audiobooks. But now the daily chaos filter allows you to see the whole picture instead of focusing on the little myopic piece of sand that looks like a mountain right now, but it's not. Because now I can see the whole picture and filter the chaos daily. And that is the whole point of this teaching series here for the daily chaos filter. Now, since I have the filter installed, I can see the chaos, enter the chaos, walk through the chaos, and it won't affect me. And all I will be doing in the chaos as I'm walking through the chaos is going, doop, lesson, 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 pulling all the extracted lessons out of that chaos, installing the extracted lessons, organizing them, and then installing them wherever I want to install them, remembering what I want, and then dissolving and deleting the rest. This is the process of the Daily Chaos Filter. I hope you got some value out of hearing my story today and how I handled my depression, how the chaos of my life took me downtown, man. Took me so bad, so far down. It made me focus on things that weren't even there and made me not want to do anything. And now I'm doing a ton. I got out of my chaos. Once I got out of my chaos, man, I wrote that book. I created the masterclass. I did the membership site. I started my coaching program. I'm making this course for you. I got the other courses, the magic goal setting procedure. I have the golden paradigm shift process. Stick around for the last lesson tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about the bewares and the got yous. And I'm I might talk a little bit more about the con man situation, but I did talk about that in this episode. So I might hit on that a little bit more, but because that is the bewares and the cautions, and so it's probably going to bring up some more of that story that I should share with you. Hey, be careful if you are a con man or a con person and you con a filmmaker or you con a storyteller or a writer, because your story's going to get told and someone might figure out who you are. So, but the con people are smart in their own way, in their own manipulative way. They're very, very smart because you really don't even know who they are. When they leave, they're gone. They probably didn't have their right name. And if it was their right name, it's a very... Anyways, a lot more to this story, but stay tuned because in the next episode, it's going to be a really great one. I'm going to make sure you understand. It's the final piece of this puzzle, but make sure you understand how to bring it all together and what to be aware of, because we need to be aware of what's around us. We need to see people for who they are, and we need to see beneath the mask of ourselves and other people too. So stay tuned. I love you so much. You're incredible. You have gold in your mind. And I just want to say thank you so much for doing what it takes to make this world a better place by becoming the best version of you that you can possibly become. My name is David A. Stone. Develop awesome skills and go find your gold.